The Philadelphia 76ers roster construction is horrible. It's horrible. It doesn't make any sense at all. And it's becoming more and more clear as the season goes on. So let's break it down, man. Let's break it down. What is up, guys? My name is DJ Eastwood. This is Run It Back. As always, hit that subscribe button if you like talking Philly sports every day. Thank you for tuning in to Run It Back. As always, thank you if you're a return subscriber. Listen, man, my Heat video last night was only 5 minutes long because I was just pissed off and I was just screaming about it, and it wasn't very analytical, and I get that. So I want to break some things down a little farther, but not just that game. I want to go a couple games in the past because over the past couple games, we've seen several different lineups because Embiid was out, and then Horford was out, and Embiid and Simmons played together, Embiid and Horford and Simmons played together, Simmons and Horford played without Embiid, all that stuff. Lots of different lineups, but one thing that's very telling to me is the backup point guard minutes. And I'm looking at all the stats of the last 5-6 games, and it's clear to me that when we play a backup point guard on the floor with Ben Simmons, he's more successful. Look at the Cavs game, right? Ben scored 34 points in the Cavs game. Trey Burke was on the floor for 26 minutes in that game. He had 21 points and 8 assists. Ben Simmons even commented after the game how much it affected his game having Trey Burke out there with him, how they complemented each other. It's like a Kyrie LeBron kind of thing. You understand what I'm saying? Not on that level, but that kind of combination. Ben Simmons cannot run a half court. Everybody knows it. Ben Simmons knows it. He doesn't even want to try to run a half court. So I don't know why we're forcing him to play point guard 100% of the time. If you want him to be a point forward, that's fine. But you're going to have to, I'm talking to Brett Brown, you're going to have to put a point guard on the floor with Ben Simmons so they can go back and forth and you can maximize this skill set of Ben Simmons. That's what this is all about. Putting the right players around the person that plays to their strengths, hides their weaknesses, and maximizes their skill set. Having Joel Embiid on the floor and Al Horford on the floor at the same time as Ben Simmons is not only not maximizing Ben Simmons' skill set, it's not maximizing Embiid's skill set. And it just doesn't make any sense. So Trey Burke had 26 minutes in that game. Raul Neto had 21 minutes. 47 minutes of backup point guards on the floor alongside Ben Simmons, and we blow that team out by 47 points, and Simmons scores 34 and sits out the fourth quarter. I know it's the Cavs. I know they're terrible, but I'm making a point here. If Ben plays the fourth quarter and goes hard, he might score 50 in that game. That's maximizing his skill set. What's Joel Embiid's skill set? Joel Embiid's skill set, he needs to be in the post. He needs lots of space so the double team doesn't come easily, right? He needs Ben Simmons to be outside the three-point line. He needs Al Horford to not be in there. Instead, you got Al Horford on the floor, and then, like you saw last night in the Heat game, you're running Ben Simmons on a low block, and Joel Embiid's getting the ball in the high post, and you're trying to do a high-low. Why are you trying to do that with a guy who can't dribble and can't pass? When Joel Embiid is forced to dribble the ball or pass the ball, it's a disaster. Why in the world do you have your point guard on the low block? That's not maximizing skill sets. It's just not. The lineup that makes the most sense for this team is a point guard on the floor, Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid in the paint. I don't know why somebody looked at this roster and said, hey, guys, let's add another center. And let's not just add another center. Let's pay $100 million for him. I mean, come on, bro. Let me break down a couple of them here. Listen, the Raptors game, after that, after the Cavs game that we blew them out, it was the Raptors game. We won 110-104. Embiid had 10 points. Simmons had 16. Al Horford had 11. Okay? That's not good from your three guys, your three starters. That's not good. We got bailed out by 26 from Tobias, and Matisse had 20, and we shot 43% from three. But, Ben just had 34. Now we bring Embiid back, and we play all three of them together, and we get 10 points, 16 points, and 11 points? Come on, man. That's clear as day that doesn't work. The Nuggets game was after that. We won 97-92. Ben, Horford, and Embiid were all on the floor together. Embiid had 22, Horford had 11, and Ben had 7. These guys do not fit together. Stop trying to do it. I'm telling you, stop it. The Celtics game was after that. We won 115 to 109. Now, yeah, we won all these games. Okay, oh, how you going to? We won the game. We won the game. Yeah, we shot 50% from three. You're going to win games when you shoot 50% from three. When you're only winning the Nuggets game, they shot 25% from three, and we only won by 5 points. A couple of shots, and this game's in their hands by a mile. You understand? 7-game series, you're not winning that. Celtics, we won by 6. And we shot 50% from three. So we're not always going to shoot 50% from three. And in a 7-game series, you're not winning that game by 6. Ben has 2 games in a row where he scores 7 points, which is just unbelievable. But it's because we're not maximizing his skill set, man. And he's not aggressive. I get that. He's only aggressive against bad teams. But we're not maximizing his skill set, man. We're putting 2 centers on the floor with a guy that needs to get in the paint. Anyway, then we had the Pelicans game. We gave up a lead in the fourth quarter of that game. We won by 7. Tobias had 31, Embiid had 24, Ben had 24. There was 10 total backup point guard minutes, which, like I said, look what happens when we do that. Now Horford didn't play in that game. The Nets game, we lost by 20. Embiid did not play. Ben Simmons had 20 points on only 10 shot attempts. Al Horford had 10 points on 16 shot attempts. Do you really want Al Horford shooting 16 shots and Ben Simmons against a bad team only shooting 10 shots? Okay, not a bad team. Nets are okay, but they don't have their top 3 best players right now. I need more than 10 shots out of Ben Simmons in that game. What's telling about that is Raul Neto had 21 backup point guard minutes and scored 8 points. Trey Burke had 6 backup point guard minutes and scored 5 points. So clearly, if you give Trey Burke the 21 minutes, he has 20 points in that game. He had 5 points in 6 minutes. Raul Neto's out there for 21 minutes and has 8 points, and he was a minus 15 from the floor. Why is Brett so obsessed with Raul Neto? Dude, I can't figure it out. The Miami Heat game, Horford and Embiid, Simmons all play. There's only 5 minutes of backup point guard minutes. Raul Neto gets all of them. No Trey Burke. Embiid scores 22. Ben has 17. In 42 minutes, he only shoots the ball 13 times. Again, because there's no space on the floor. He can't get to the lane like he wants to. All that stuff. Al Horford scores 9 points in 32 minutes. 9 points and 4 rebounds in 32 minutes. And jacked up a couple late-game three-pointers that basically took us out of it. If you wanted to space the floor and you wanted a three-point shooter, you don't sign Al Horford. He's a center. I don't care what you say. He's not a three-point shooting power forward, no matter how much you try to tell yourself he is. He's just not. The main thing that has to happen here is Ben Simmons' skill set needs to be maximized. Joel Embiid's skill set needs to be maximized. And you got to get Al Horford the hell out of the game with those 2 in it. You understand? You got to bring Al Horford off the bench. The lineup that's going to work here is a point guard alongside Ben Simmons, Embiid with space in the paint, Al Horford coming off the bench. Now, what can we do to fix this? You guys let me know in the comments what you think, what we can do to fix this. Here, I'm going to tell you what we can do. A couple of things we can do. We can try our damnedest to trade Al Horford for a three-point shooter, which should have been done in the offseason. But when he has a $100 million contract, it's going to be pretty damn hard to do that. I would absolutely love a Drew Holiday on this team next to Ben Simmons. That would complement his game immensely. He plays good defense. He can shoot the three. He can handle the ball in the half court. It would be beautiful. But can we do that? I don't know. If you can't make a trade and you can't replace Al Horford with a good three-point shooter or replace him with a point guard that can run a half-court offense, what can you do? You can just bring Al Horford off the bench. You can start probably Matisse Thybulle. But in a perfect world, you start Trey Burke and play him alongside Ben Simmons, but Brett Brown absolutely won't do that, and I just don't know why. What I think is going to happen with this team realistically this year is they're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs because Brett Brown's not going to make any adjustments. He's not going to make any adjustments. He's going to start Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and Al Horford. He's going to try to force it down our throats the rest of the season. He's not going to make any changes. He's not going to play a lot of backup point guard minutes to Trey Burke or Raul Neto to complement Ben Simmons in the half court. He's not going to do any of that. He's not going to do any of the things I'm saying in this video, and we're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs. And when that happens, he's going to get fired. And when that happens, a lot of things are going to change. I don't know if they're going to split up Ben and Joel, but they're going to try their hardest to trade the Al Horford contract because it doesn't make sense. Did Elton Brand really think this made sense? Did Elton Brand really make these moves in the offseason and thought it made our team better? Did he look at any analytics at all? You guys let me know what you think in the comments, man. My name is DJ Eastwood. This is Run It Back. Thank you for watching all the time. It's Dallas week. You know, we got the Eagles versus the Cowboys. I should have a pretty entertaining video after that game, whatever the outcome is, so stay tuned for that. I am just very, very frustrated with this team, with the roster construction, with the lineups that Brett Brown is playing, with the decision to play some players and not play other players. I mean, I just don't understand how you have that game with Trey Burke having 21 and 8 and then just never play him again the rest of the season, man. It's just, the guy just doesn't get it, bro. All right, man. You guys have a good day. Peace.